Hey, it's Robin, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the nutrition side of things because this is something that's really important to follow to get the results you want, but it's also somewhere where people tend to get really stuck. And so we are going to talk about these little babies, these containers, which totally make things a lot easier because you're not having to weigh, measure, count calories, none of that stuff. You just use these containers. You follow the meal plan to tell you how many of each container you eat in a day, and then you just do that. It totally simplifies things. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So in Beachbody On Demand, let's go to 21 Day Fix because I know a lot of you are starting with that program. We're going to go to Program Materials. We are going to go to Start Here. And you're going to figure out your container plan. So your weight times 11 is going to give you your caloric baseline. Then you're going to add 400 to that, and that's going to be your maintenance calories. Now, if you're not in this to lose weight and you just want to tone up and, build some strength, but you're at your goal weight, then you stop there. And that's your calories that you're going to use to figure out your target plan. If you are in this to lose weight, which is the majority of people, you're going to take your maintenance calories, you're going to subtract 750, and that is going to be your calorie target. So let me just give you an example for me, and then we will follow that along. So I'm going to get out my calculator. I am right around 150 pounds times 11 plus 400 equals, so 2,050 for my maintenance calories, or 1,300 for my weight loss calories. So let's talk about Plan A. So I would be in Plan D. No, I would be in Plan C for maintenance, and Plan A for weight loss. So this tells you the number of each of these categories. So we have veggies, we have fruits, we have proteins, carbs, healthy fats, seeds and dressings, oils, and nut butters. So on Plan A, I would get 3 veggies, 2 fruits, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 healthy fat, 1 seeds and dressings, and 2 teaspoons oils and nut butters. And this doesn't come with a teaspoon. Everybody has a teaspoon, so just use your own teaspoon at home. And then if you are on one of the other plans, then you're going to use that container count, okay? So review your container plan, look at the food groups, and use the tally sheets. So I'm going to show you where the tally sheets are right now, and then we're going to talk about planning your meals. So here's the tally sheets. You can use this one, which is editable, so you can do it on your computer, editable. And so you can fill in what you had for meal 1. Like, so this morning I had 1 of these, and 1 of these, and 1 of these, and 1 of these, and a teaspoon. And so it fills in your total at the bottom. And up here, you can put your target. So let's say this is 3. I can't remember, actually. I have to look because I haven't done level A for a while. Whoops. So 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2. 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 1, and 2. Okay. So then I can easily see if what I need to have for my, the rest of my meals in the day to add up to those containers, okay? You can also fill in how much water you're having. You can also have printable tally sheets. They look exactly the same, but you can't edit them on the computer. You just print them off. So it depends what works better for you. Honestly, it doesn't matter. So here's the workout calendar. And now here, this is super important, the food list. And these, you do have to go to your specific program because different programs have different containers that they allow. So 21 Day Fix is probably one of the more liberal ones. 21 Day Fix Extreme tightens it up a bit more, and 80 Day Obsession tightens it up even more, so that you're eating from the higher, more dense nutrition, higher quality foods in each food group. And honestly, what I would recommend is you print this off and keep it up on your fridge or something, because there's going to be times when you don't remember what each thing is, because most things fill the container. But something like asparagus that doesn't neatly fit into the container, it's going to be 2 large spears. Or beets is going to be 2 medium beets. And you do have to pay attention to how it is arranged here, because like winter squash is cubed. And the reason that it's cubed and not mashed is that it's actually less if it's cubed, right? If you think about it, cubed is going to fit a little bit less of it is going to fit into your container than if it's mashed. So that is an important distinction. And it is pumpkin that sometimes trips people up, because you see pumpkin as a green right here if it's chopped, but as a purple if it is pumpkin puree. And then it's 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree is a purple. And that's just because that's going to be a lot more pumpkin, and it's going to be a lot more calories than what a typical green would be. So then we're going to count it as a purple because it's going to act more that way in your body. So that's just something to be aware of, that, it does tell you, like it's sliced peppers. It is sliced carrots or 10 medium baby carrots. It's half a large artichoke. For bananas, it is half of a medium banana. Oh no, half a large banana right there. So those things are on there. Sweet potato is chopped. Yams are chopped. Plantains are sliced or half a medium. So pay attention to that. Things like crackers, 8 small crackers, 1 slice of whole grain bread, one small pita bread, pancakes, like these have to be whole grain to be on here. If they're just white flour, then they're not on the list. So 1 small is 4 inches. English muffin, half of a muffin counts as a yellow. Half of a small 3-inch bagel counts as a yellow. So, so that these things are all kind of around the same kind of container counts, right? And then you have your blue container, which is your cheeses, your nuts, your healthy fats, basically. Your orange container is your seeds and your dressings, and there's lots of different recipes for dressings, which are great. And then your teaspoon is your oils, so like olive oil, coconut oil, flaxseed oil, walnut oil, cacao nibs also fits into here, as well as nut butters, butter and mayo. Another thing I want to point out about this is that the higher quality foods, the better for you foods are at the top, and they go down to the not as good for you foods at the bottom. So, you can choose from anywhere all over the list, but these are the higher quality ones. And what some people do is, if they're not getting the results that they want, or if they're kind of getting used to eating this way, because it's a change in the beginning. So I would suggest you just eat from anything on the list to start with. But then if you want to tighten it up, or maybe the last week of your program, then you eat from kind of the top 1/3 of the list and see if that makes a difference for you or not, right? Okay, like eggs, two large eggs, or 8 egg whites, because you don't want to measure eggs in the red container. That's going to be gross. But so it does tell you all that good stuff. Okay, so now another really important thing to do. Okay, so here is the eating plan. So this tells you how it works, reminds you what the containers are. Again, it gives you your calorie count, or your calorie count, and then you pick your plan that you're going to be on. And it gives you some tally sheets. And then it gives you actually what Carl Deichler did, his exact meal plan when he did this program, and had some pretty awesome results. So this is a great thing to start with, because you can choose one of these breakfasts, or you can choose one of these Shakeologies. You can choose one of these lunches. And when you're first starting out, seriously, keep it simple. Don't make a super complicated meal plan that has a ton of different foods every day, because you're going to kill yourself with meal prep until you get more used to it, okay? And then it gives you the lists of each container separately. I like the master list that has all the things on it at once. I think that's easier to see, but this does give you some good information. Now, substitutions. This is the treats, and not all programs have treats with them, but 21 Day Fix does. So you can substitute these beverages for a yellow. You can substitute these treats for a yellow. So, and I'll just explain this because I found this a little bit confusing at first. So dried fruit medley, you can count it as a yellow, but you need to measure it in an orange. So it's a smaller amount than in a yellow, because you wouldn't be eating that much dried fruit to just count as one yellow. It would be way more than that. Half an orange is chocolate chips, and that counts as one yellow. You can fill your yellow with potato chips or tortilla chips, or you can have chocolate covered raisins, again in an orange, chocolate covered almonds, 6 pieces, and then it has some recipes for double chocolate cookies or banana oatmeal cookies. So 2 banana oatmeal cookies count as one yellow, or 1 double chocolate cookie. So there are some treats in here. And this is meant to be only 3 times per week, so that you're still getting a lot of good quality food to really fuel your body, because that's what we're working on learning, right? So water, we recommend that you drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So if you weigh 180 pounds, that's 90 ounces of water every day. Really focus on that. Here's a few recipes for water to keep it more interesting. You can put mint leaves and a lime wedge, sparkling water with 2 lemon slices, some grated ginger, cucumber slices. I love ice water with cucumber slices. It's so good. You know, add some fruit to infuse it. So all of these are free things that you can put in your water. You can do it as much as you want. Now, it's also going to talk about tea and coffee, because these are things you can put in it as much as you want: cinnamon, lemon, pumpkin spice, or nutmeg. You can have 1 or 2 8-ounce cups of coffee or tea per day with lower non-fat milk, or sugar, honey, molasses, maple syrup, agave syrup, or stevia. Stay away from cream, half and half, non-dairy creamer, white sugar, artificial sweeteners, flavored syrups, chocolate syrup, okay? And now these are the free flavor enhancing foods. So different spices, mustard are some examples of that. And then you have some frequently asked questions. At the end, some tips about eating out, because it's possible. You can do it. And it gives you some ideas of what different foods would be at a restaurant in terms of container counts, okay? And then it gives you some recipes at the end, because, you know, sometimes you just got to try some new things and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So there's some egg recipes, and you know what? All of these recipes, I've made quite a few of them, and they're usually really, really good. So basic things, rice, quinoa, like I said, keep it easy to start with. Okay, here's the dressing recipes. Lots of good recipes for different dressings that aren't full of a lot of chemicals and sugar and that kind of stuff, like they are in a lot of the salad dressings that you buy. And here is the double chocolate chip cookies, banana oatmeal cookies. Yum, don't those look good? I've made these. These are pretty good. Okay, so the next thing you really want to do is make your meal plan, because here's what I do, or here's what I did, and here's where I ran into trouble. Is I would, let's go to our container list actually. Let's go here. Okay, so this is what I know I have for my containers. And what would happen is I would eat this in the morning, and then I would be like, oh, I'll just have, you know, some fruit and some oatmeal for a snack. And then I will have you know, some chicken, leftover chicken for lunch with some avocado. And then I'm going to have, for supper, I'm going to have, let's see, I'm going to have, I'm already out of these. I have some reds left. So let's say I have, now I'm like, okay, so I have to have supper and I have 2 greens left and 2 reds and an orange. It's like, what am I going to make out of that? So that's the trouble I would run into, is my purples, my yellows, my blue would be gone early. And then I would have basically greens and reds left at the end of the day. And sometimes, depending on what meal plan I'm on, like right now, I think I am on maintenance plan D for 80-day obsession, and I have 6 greens to eat. So, you know, I could easily end up with like 3 greens left at the end of the day. And I don't know about you, but eating that many vegetables at once doesn't feel good for me. So I think it's totally worth your time to plan out what meals, what you're going to have for each meal, and you know, just write it down so that you can make adjustments when you're like, that actually isn't going to add up. And do it ahead of time. Taking the time to meal plan and decide what you're going to get, make your grocery list, is going to save you so much time in the long run, and it's going to help keep you on track. Because what will happen otherwise, I'm going to just stop sharing my screen now. What will happen otherwise is you'll get to the end of the day and you won't have had the right container count, or you'll get to a meal and you'll be like, oh, I don't have like a red and a green that I feel like eating for that. What am I going to have? And you'll just end up grabbing something that's not necessarily on your meal plan, and it's much harder to stay on track. If you've already got it planned out and then you just have to grab it, it's so much easier. Because, you know, and that's why people don't like making meal plans, because you have to make the decisions ahead of time. But you're going to be in a place to make good decisions, and then you're going to stick with them as you go along. Okay, so I just want to show you the containers quickly. This is what they look like. They have little symbols on them, and you can write on there in this little square how many fruits you get a day, how many proteins you get a day. This is proteins. This is healthy fats, and you see how they're all different sizes depending on what it is. This is seeds and dressings, veggies, everybody's favorite, right? Doesn't everybody love veggies? Carbs is yellow. That's usually everybody's favorite. And then there's actually 2 seeds and dressings, because lots of times you might want to split it. You might want to have half, like you're taking your food to work, and you might want to have a salad with like some hemp seeds or something, plus half of a thing of dressing. Because I don't like this much dressing on a salad. I think I'm not a big dressing person. It depends on what you like, right? So then you can split it and take these 2 little tiny containers. These containers are handy. I also like pumpkin seeds in them a lot. You can just fill it up and take it with you. It's quite handy. But you can write on here how many you have for a day. So I hope that's clear. You know, let's talk about it in the group, and let's make sure we're all kind of on the right track, and, you know, figuring this out together, because nutrition really is an important piece of getting the results you want, but also feeling good and feeling the way you want, and just being healthy, fueling your body with really good food, and focusing on what you are going to eat. Figuring out what the heck you're going to put in your red container is going to help you not focus on what you're missing out on, right? Like maybe some of the junk food or the treats that you're used to having. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, good job. I wanted to be thorough, because especially if this is your first time using the container system, you might be feeling overwhelmed. But I promise, after you do it for a week or 2, you're going to be like, wow, this is so much easier. And I'm making way better decisions. Okay. So don't forget, ask me if you have any questions.